What a week for the chip sector. Intel unveiling a new AI chip to compete with NVIDIA and AMD. That's a day after Taiwan Semiconductor receiving $6.6 billion from Biden CHIP Act. Joining us right now for more on the sector is Joseph Moore, Morgan Stanley semiconductor analyst. Good morning to you. Help us make sense of all of this news, if you could, from 30,000 feet, and then let's drill into each of these companies to try to figure out where you think the real opportunity is. But given all that's going on, who is the big winner in this?
Well, ultimately, I think, we think that in AI, that NVIDIA has such a strong position that that's still our top pick in the compute space. Intel has done a good job of putting out new products. Gaudi, I think, will have a niche role in the AI space, the Gaudi 3 product that they came out with yesterday. But I think what Intel really needs is to stabilize the foundation of servers. And I think that the products that are coming out, such as Sierra Forest and Granite Rapids, I think those products are going to be critical to stabilizing that foundation. I think to the extent that you see the new AI products, we're seeing companies benchmarking against NVIDIA's H100, but NVIDIA is about to ramp Blackwell in the second half of this year. They're on an annual cadence, so they'll have new products again next year. So I think Intel has a role. I think they are an alternative to NVIDIA, but we ultimately sort of see NVIDIA as the premier way to play the AI trends.
But do you see this as a winner-take-all business, and is there an argument that Intel is therefore a value play, or do you just think that they're so far behind that it's just not a meaningful player in this?
Yeah, it's certainly not winner take all, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for Intel. I think when you look at Intel's recent segmentation, where they showed you just how big the manufacturing losses are, I think that really shows you the value around the chip part of the business away from manufacturing. And certainly we're all hopeful that they'll be successful in terms of turning around the manufacturing operations. But the real value is stabilizing the existing market share in servers. You have significant incumbency value that accrues to that business, and they just need to execute on product. And I think there certainly is value on that side of the business. I think the ambition that they have is to compete with TSMC, to compete with NVIDIA more broadly. And I see that as a little bit more of a stretch, but certainly we see potential value in Intel. And I think the key is going to be to fix the foundational business that they have, and then use that as a basis for attacking.
Okay, then where do you put AMD in this whole situation?
Yeah, well, I favor NVIDIA, but I do like AMD. I'm intrigued to see their MI300 product in AI. They have become the sort of de facto alternative in NVIDIA in the sort of merchant AI space. I think there's some maybe expectations issues around that product for this year. People have looked at the supply chain as being revenue, and the reality is the timing of deployment could shift around. So I think the risk reward's a little better for NVIDIA, but I'm excited to see what AMD can do. And in their core business, I see AMD as still in a share gain position in servers and embedded these other markets. So, I think we are overweight to stock, and I like it. But I think at this level, I like NVIDIA more.
Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit different from a typical analyst question. If you were advising the administration, Gina Raimondo, who's giving out money, and the Biden administration and others in Washington about how to give out this money, they just gave obviously out $6+ billion to Taiwan Semiconductor. Is that how you'd be doing it? Is it that Taiwan Semiconductor is the only one that really has the skills to do this, or would you be giving more money to typically American businesses, or do we just not know how to make this all happen?
Yeah, well, judging industrial policy is a complex thing, and I have a hard enough time trying to get stocks right. So that's sort of my focus. But I would say, I think it certainly makes sense to do both, which is what's happening, right? That you're subsidizing the current incumbent leader with TSMC in terms of advanced manufacturing. But certainly, I think we're all sitting here hoping that Intel can be a viable competitor in the very high end of the market in the next couple of years. And they've certainly outlined a process technology that should allow them to do that. So I think there's promise in both areas. From the standpoint of stocks, though, we're sitting in an environment in semiconductors where there's at least adequate capacity. Some would say maybe too much capacity. And so no matter how much you're subsidized on that spending, it doesn't necessarily help you from a stock standpoint as much, because you're subsidizing spending, you're pulling it forward in time, you're adding fixed costs to a business that already has enough fixed costs.
Right.
So for us, we favor the companies
Right.
that aren't necessarily directly beneficiaries of CHIPS Act because of that.
Final one for you, Joseph. How scared are you that this whole thing is a bubble? That we're living in 1998, 99, and that we're all of these valuations for these chip makers at some point, we're going to say, we have overbuilt.
Well, there's certainly, semiconductors tend to work that way, and I think you look at this as a situation where eventually will we overbuild AI capacity? Potentially so. But, you asked the question in a way that I appreciate it, sort of, is it 98, is it 99? I mean, certainly there can be a lot of stock price movement still to come because we're seeing these AI plans being booked out through 2028. You see some of these big hyperscale plans that you see going forward. That visibility is building. The short-term visibility is still getting better. So, this has been a big move for sure. And I think ultimately you have to worry about, do we see a consolidation in the number of companies developing these AI models? But I think we're at least a year away from having that as an imminent concern.